gun is just a tool to get what you want.
Kiss me before you kill me.
She reminds me of the first woman who ever slapped my face. Dead.
The wrong people always have money.
It's not like men have never used sex to get what they want. Women are more dangerous than shotguns.
How could I know that murder can sometimes smell like honeysuckle?
Every villain is a hero in their own mind.
In the ruins of post-war Vienna, where shadows loom large and secrets are whispered in dark alleys, one man stands above it all. Harry Lime.
What the fella said. In Italy, for 30 years under the Borgias, they had warfare, terror, murder, and bloodshed, but they produced Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and the Renaissance. In Switzerland, they had brotherly love. They had 500 years of democracy and peace, and what did that produce? The cuckoo clock.
A character whose charm could light up a room, but whose actions would send a shiver down your spine. Harry Lime, played to chilling perfection by Orson Welles, is a man whose charisma masks a heart of darkness. A man who embodies the perfect noir villain, charming, calculating, and entirely without remorse. But what drives a man like Harry Lime? What lies beneath the smile, the charm? The answer: self-preservation at any cost, a lust for power, and the belief that he was simply too clever to ever be caught. Vienna itself becomes a labyrinth, a twisted reflection of Harry's moral compass, dark, winding, and leading nowhere good. To truly understand Harry Lime, we must venture into the depths of his psyche, the murky moral gray where he resides. To Harry, friends were simply pawns in a greater game. Even Holly Martins, his oldest friend, wasn't spared from manipulation. Lime's charisma wasn't just a tool to charm, it was a weapon, used to control and deceive those who trusted him. Harry's worldview was stark and chilling. To him, human lives were nothing more than dots, expendable in the pursuit of wealth.
Would you really feel any pity if one of those dots stopped moving forever? If I offered you 20,000 pounds for every dot that stopped, would you really, old man, tell me to keep my money? Or would you calculate how many dots you could afford to spend, free of income tax?
He embodied the darkest side of capitalism, willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve his goals. To Harry Lime, morality was a luxury he couldn't afford. His charm allowed him to rationalize the most inhumane acts, like selling diluted penicillin to hospitals, leading to the deaths of countless innocent children. To him, the end always justified the means, and he had convinced himself that he was untouchable, above any law or consequence. The diluted penicillin, meant to heal but instead causing agony and death, became the chilling testament of Harry Lime's true nature. His pursuit of profit had a human cost, one that he simply refused to acknowledge. Lime justified it as business, but the reality was that every vial sold was a death sentence. To Lime, everything had a price: loyalty, friendship, even human life. He kept a ledger in his mind where every interaction, every relationship was merely an entry, a calculation of profit versus loss. The people around him were reduced to assets or liabilities, and he always kept his balance sheet in the black. Yet, despite all his darkness, Harry Lime was undeniably captivating. The world loves an anti-hero, someone who rejects the rules, who lives above the law. Lime was a villain, yes, but one whose magnetism drew people in, who left an indelible mark on anyone he met. He was charming, intelligent, and unapologetic, qualities that, in another context, could have made him a hero. For Lime, morality was a game, and the stakes were power and control. He believed that society itself was complicit in its corruption and that he was simply a product of the times, playing the game better than anyone else. He saw the hypocrisy in the world and used it as an excuse for his actions. In his eyes, he wasn't doing anything worse than what governments or corporations did every day. He just happened to do it with a smile. In the end, no amount of charm or wit could save Harry Lime. The hunter became the hunted, and as he ran through the dark sewers of Vienna, it was as if the city itself had turned against him, determined to swallow him whole. The very streets he once walked with confidence now became a maze of despair, a fitting end for a man who thrived in the shadows. Even in his final moments, Harry Lime remained unrepentant, his charm still intact, his spirit unbroken. He was a villain to the very end, but one whose charisma made him unforgettable. He lived by his own rules, and even as the world closed in on him, he refused to bow to its judgment. His final look was not one of regret, but of defiance, a reminder that he played the game until the very last move. Harry Lime represents the allure of the dark side, the magnetic pull of someone who defies the rules, who lives by his own twisted code. He reminds us of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the seductive power of charisma used for selfish ends. His story is a cautionary tale of what happens when one man decides that he is above morality, above humanity itself. Harry Lime is one of those characters who stays with you long after the film ends. He embodies the essence of the anti-hero, a man who is both despicable and fascinating. He forces us to confront our own fascination with the villain, to ask ourselves why we are drawn to someone so morally bankrupt. Lime's legacy endures because he speaks to something primal within us, a curiosity about the forbidden, the thrill of the untamed. He was the embodiment of charm twisted into something dark.
Every villain is a hero in their own mind.